Welcome to the Spirit of a Badass, where we celebrate stories of courage, hope, and resiliency. I am your host, Alecia Jacobson. Okay, before we get into today's episode, I have to shout out someone who's not just a sponsor of the podcast, but one of my favorite humans, Becky from Wilson Aesthetic Company, located in Oregon. If you know me, you know I don't share things I don't 100% believe in, and this one is something special because it's built by my bestie. Wilson Aesthetic Company is all about enhancing what you already have, not changing who you are. It's thoughtful and rooted in education and safety, which is exactly how she approaches everything. From neurotoxins and fillers to skin treatments that support long-term results, every appointment is customized and never cookie cutter. If you've ever been curious about aesthetic treatments or just want to feel like the most refreshed version of yourself, check out Wilson Aesthetic Company. I trust her with my face, and that says everything. You can find Wilson Aesthetic Company on Instagram or book a consultation directly. Tell her I sent you and get $25 off your first treatment. Hello, welcome to today's podcast. I am glad you are here. Today is a special episode because it's a lot of gratitude for all of you listeners. Spirit of a Badass podcast was nominated and voted for Brava Magazine's. It was in the category of influencer and blog. However, obviously this is not a blog, this is a podcast, but it was for influencer, which at first was like, oh, that's interesting because I'm not an influencer in the traditional sense of an influencer. And I kind of sat with it a little bit. I'm like, I actually kind of like that. And then for my coaching, Alecia Jacobson coaching, I was also nominated and then voted in to the finalist category for professional coach. So thank you, Brava Magazine, and the readers and everybody who took the time to nominate and vote. I really, really appreciate it. It's just kind of a special thing for the work that we do here on the podcast. And then in my coaching, it's kind of like, I love this. So thank you for that. When I first kind of found out about the nomination for influencer, I kind of chuckled because I'm like, people have told me like, oh, you should do this. And I don't care enough about stuff to but I think there is value in people that try out a product and then sell it to you and take the time to curate these beautiful reels and all these things and get you discounts and all that lovely stuff. I love that. However, in the traditional sense of influencer, that I don't know that an influencer is traditional, but whatever you would, the definition of it, that is not me. However, I was kind of reflecting on this and I'm like, wait, I actually have been influencing women specifically for a really long time. And I didn't really think of it as that. And I've kind of actually heard these like rumblings and whisperings of the landscape of what an influencer is changing into more kind of what I do. So maybe we're like forging ahead, blazing a new trail here. So I just kind of wanted to share the things that I actually want to be influencing you on. I guess this would be like my roadmap, my goal for you. And I'm just spelling it out of the things that I want to influence you to do and be and achieve and all of those lovely things. I talk about it here on the podcast. I talk about it out in my life to random people as I'm standing in line at the store, when I go into the store, or, on social media, just all those places. I do actually sometimes share some products. And I think the one really lovely thing is that if you know that I am sharing something with you, you know that it's like I fully put my like stamp of approval on it. And I only recommend things and people, services that I truly, truly believe in and use and things like that. And actually today when I was at the gym, one of the ladies, the trainer who was training, it was a client of mine that I trained for over a decade. And she's like, yeah, Alecia, I feel like you're like the connector. You connect all these people. And I'm like, yes, I am. Like, that makes me so happy to be somebody will message me and be like, hey, do you know something for this type of thing? I'm like, actually, I do. Here are 3 options. And I get these messages all the time and I absolutely love them. So I'm going to wear this influencer hat and I'm going to tell you today, I came up with 4 things. There's probably more, but 4 things that I want to influence you on. And the first one is that you would be your most badass, bravest, most confident self. And what does this mean? I feel like we know exactly what this means, but it's like, I want you to look at the dark spaces of yourself, to like look at the parts that make you uncomfortable, because when you do this, obviously it's fucking scary, but that's where the growth happens, when you can navigate through these challenging spaces. And that's why on here I bring on, women who have navigated these spaces, the really hard things, and to share their stories of how they have done it, where they found the sort of strength inside of them. Because I really do believe that we already have everything that you need is already baked inside of you. You just need some help, maybe, one, accessing it, or being reminded of it, any of these things. But I really firmly believe that you already have it inside of you. I want you to go out and do the things. There was the episode, If You Can, You Do. I want you to go out and make a difference in your community. I want you to do the things that scare you. I want you to do the things that make you a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe be in silence, take a class, do whatever it is that you think would enhance or make life wonderful. Like, go do it. Like, we're all going to fucking die. So what are we waiting for? Right? So I want you to go out and do the things, to show up for yourself, for life, for your community, for people. That's why I like to bring stories of taking care of yourself, because we can't show up for other people, for our community, if we're not fucking showing up for ourselves, right? In which that means we need to take care of ourselves. And that is, as women, we have been modeled, taught, movies, whatever you want to say it, books, media, that we should be selfless, that we need to take care of everyone else before ourselves. And I truly think that is such bullshit. And I got some pushback. I remember one time, I was so proud because people got mad at me on the internet. They got so mad at me because I said that we need, as parents, need to be taking care of ourselves first before our children. And let me tell you, people got hot mad, big fiery mad. And I was like, I've made it. I've pissed people off enough that they're going to come at me. Yes, go for it. But if we are not, filling ourselves up, we can't show up for other people. It's just not fucking possible. So we have to get over the idea of it's being selfish or, all that crap. We have to get over that. So showing up for life, self, other people. And then, being brave and confident means speaking out and speaking up. And I think especially right now in history and in life, now is not a time to be quiet. This is something my husband and I have been working on, mainly me kind of modeling it for him. But a lot of us have just been conditioned to shut up and be quiet and not speak, and that our own needs don't matter. Or if we see something, we're sort of quiet about it. Now is not the time for that. Now is not the time at all. We need to be using our voices. We need to be seeing injustice and speaking out on it. We need to be brave enough to do that. Now, not everybody can speak out in the same way. It looks different. Your service to humanity might look, maybe you're not okay with using your voice, but you're okay with using other things. And that's fine. We all have to show up differently. However, if we are in space and something happens, if it is safe for us to use our voice and speak out, that is something, like, if I want to influence you, it is to speak up. It is to speak for people who cannot use their voice, who do not have a voice because it is a danger to them. Whatever that is, I think speaking out is so vital and important, especially right now. All right, number 2, explore what lights you up. This, I think, is a good one for me. My human design, I am a generator, which means that I get energy by doing things that light me up. And this is then what I try to infuse in other people, is do the things that light you up. Again, going back to taking care of ourselves. If we're not making dedicated time to do things for ourselves, like, we're just like dead inside, right? Like, what is the point? What is the point of doing life if we're not lit up? And obviously, there's like ebb and flow, and life happens, and there's, more stressful times, but finding space and things that you're really excited about. Part of the reason that I do the bingo episode in the beginning of each year is because it gives you an opportunity to look at things that add value to your life, that excite you, that you can look forward to. We all know that I'm not the sciencey brain, but you get the chemicals in your brain by anticipating something. So if you are looking forward to something and you're, adding things, maybe it's like a concert that lights you up, or one of the things I still haven't done it, but I really want to take a pottery class. I'm looking at new kind of fitness movement ways that I can bring to community. I'm looking at all these things like what lights me up, but I've had all these ideas lately, and just having ideas of potential offerings I can bring to women and community, that lights me up. My exercise classes, people think I'm so crazy that I go to so many different gyms and classes. It brings me so much energy and joy to be able to be in community and do these different variations of movement. But whatever that is for you, my sourdough, like I'm not making it, I'm actually making it for the first time in like 3 weeks now. I haven't made it as much, but for like a good 8 months, I mean, sourdough was my whole personality. Like I owned that and it brought me so much joy. Oh, squirrels light me up right now. I have a squirrel feeder. I feed them nuts every morning and every evening. They come and they eat. The joy that these damn squirrels bring me, and my whole family's like, the squirrels are here. The squirrels are here. Like, it makes me so darn happy. And we need that in our life. So even something is fucking stupid. And probably if you're my age and listening, you are in like birds or like animals outside, that might bring you joy. But like own that shit, get yourself a nice little feeder and name your birds or whatever that is, like do the thing. So it doesn't have to be, a financial investment either. It can be just lovely things that make you so happy. I did hiking for a while. Like I'm very fluid with the things. Like it's not like I'm like, oh, well, I failed at that because I don't still do it. Fuck no. I just like bop to the next thing and get joy from that. So that was number 2. All right. Number 3. Be strong and healthy. I mean, obviously, I owned a gym. I was a trainer for a long time, group fitness classes. I do health coaching. If you are not, well, one, I just want you to be strong because we need to be able to lift shit. We need to be able to do the things. If you don't have a strong body, it makes everything else more difficult. When we get fucking older, like we need to be able to be strong. Our bones need to be strong and healthy to hold our bodies up. So we're not, hunched over or breaking a hip or breaking, doing all these things. And there needs to be some kind of health education around that, which is why I try to infuse a lot of this podcast with, experts in their field on whatever it is, whether it's the somatic healing or the hormonal shifts that we go through, the GLP, all of those things. I want to give you a wide array of things that could impact you or someone that you are close to, because we need as much information as we can get to be the strongest, healthiest versions. And that's why I do, the habit coaching and the GLP group. Like all of these things are so that you can go out in your world and be the version of you that you feel so good about. That's so important. It's so important for you now because the reason I even got into coaching in the first place is because I found that in the gym, when people were building their strength and they had to be mentally, like there was some, I loved them. I would do like timed workouts and time sets. And I remember doing like 1-minute intervals and people would get so pissed because they were used to like this 45-second ones. And that extra 15 seconds, like I'm like, this is where the mental game happens. This is where you fucking show up for yourself. This is where you dig in, you are uncomfortable, and you fucking do it. And we don't have a lot of opportunity out in the world to do that. And I notice I'm like they're getting strong, and me personally too in my workouts. We are building it in the gym. And then you can transfer that out into life, because if you can be uncomfortable anywhere, you can do that again. Like you build that mental toughness. So if you can be strong and whatever that is, but I truly, I firmly believe in strength training. So movement doesn't have to look like strength training. However, we need fucking strong bodies. Like we truly do. And be healthy and making sure that we're, consuming things that are nourishing our bodies. The word healthy now, I feel like the undercurrent is so, it's kind of like gross now. So I really truly mean like whatever health feels like in your body to be truly well, like that's what we need to do. And that's what I want to influence you to not do not listen to the other fucking influencers that tell you what you need to do, what your body, because I really think like, you know what your body needs. You might not know how to make it happen, or you might need some support in making it happen. But the amount of times I'm like, oh, what do you think about this thing? Or what do you think about that supplement? Like, we don't need all of the outside shit and outside noise. You know what you need to do. And that's what I want to influence you to do, is whatever it is that you know, fucking do it. Be the most strongest badass version of yourself for you today, for your mental health, for your physical health, and for you in 30 fucking years from now. And you will be so thankful. Like, I love hearing the women right now saying like, I am training for my future self, the grandma self me or whatever, my old lady self, because you don't want, I mean, if you think about it, when most people fucking retire, they're broken and unwell. Like, we don't want to be broken and unwell. We want to be healthy and do all the things and explore all the places. Okay. All right. Last one. Live the life that you actually want to be living. Like, pause, open up your eyes and think, am I living? And that might look like, my husband and I do the weekly meetings. Now we're kind of expanding that to actually like rewriting I think we're calling it like our marriage contract, but essentially we figured out that, well, we have slid into patterns and a lifestyle that we didn't design it. Not even necessarily. This was not designed. This was, we are in the trenches. We have a lot of children. We are in the trenches and we are blindly going through this. And now we're like ripping off the fucking Band-Aid, pulling back the curtain and like, oh shit, how did we get here? Well, we know how we got here. We weren't paying attention. But are you paying attention? Like, what do you actually want to be living and doing with your life? And then go be fucking brave enough to do it and be relentless and persistent when you are doing that. And I say that because this is a process that we're doing right now. And it is really, really hard, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it to not be in such discomfort the most of the time, or just be like, I don't want to be fucking vanilla, even though most of me, I got my cream color shirt on today. I am a vanilla person, but I want to be excited about the fucking life that I have. I want a certain life. Like, you might need to sit down and think like, what do I want? And draw out your perfect day or your perfect year or whatever it looks like. And then start pursuing that shit. Do it in small ways, in big ways. Like, just be freaking brave and do the thing. So as your influencer, that is what I want to influence you to do, is go live just a brave and beautiful life that you are excited about. We don't need to be dreading every day or like, all the like there's enough shit that we have to deal with. And like I said, I already want you use that voice you have, but like also live an exciting life, like fill it with joy and like all of those things, right? I want you to go do that. So thank you again for nominating and voting. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope that you enjoyed this episode, my gift to you, my packaging of all the things I want to influence you to do, and go live a badass life. Spirit of a Badass is a Lit Path Studios podcast and is produced by Jamie Gale and Alecia Jacobson. Music by Shane Ivers. We'll be back with another inspiring interview. Until then, keep your spirits high and your energy badass.